Have you ever been playing a game and then after the update, it actually shows up your IP address and your username as well, and it throws it like sporadically around the screen as you're playing the game? Neither have I. Well, not until latest Marvel's Avengers update. Going through the breakdown of this little bit of a disaster that's going on right now with this game, and we've got the rundown for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. Good to see you. Good to have you here on the internet, even though it is not an amazing day, but we're going to make the best of it as we can. So Marvel's Avengers has a massive issue right now with their patch 1.8 update coming out for the Cosmic Cube event. And the biggest thing that's coming out right now is that players' IP addresses, such as my own, have displayed on screen after I downloaded the game update and started playing. So the patch came out, we're excited to play some Cosmic Cube event, get that update, and yeah, what players were experiencing is their IP address showing up on screen and their username as well. So I was loading it up and then my name and my IP just started bouncing around the screen as I played, and it never ended and never went away. This is a huge problem and a massive bug that's going on with this game. This is the response from Marvel's Avengers Twitter, the @PlayAvengers, and it goes like this. We're aware of the issue where a floating string of text appears on the screen and are investigating. Thank you for the reports. This was shortly after the update went live and they started getting feedback from the community online that players that were streaming the game, that were about to stream the game and go live, their IP was showing up at the bottom of the screen, which is just a disaster. So this was not just floating text popping up random text and numbers. These were people's actual IP addresses. Play Avengers followed up by saying the following at about 1:20 p.m. today. We are currently testing a solution to the issue of personal information, including the player's IP address and username being displayed on screen on PS5, and plan to deploy a hotfix tomorrow around 8 a.m. PT. It goes on to say PlayStation 5 players should refrain from streaming or posting screenshots online until then, as sensitive information may be displayed. Yeah, like all of our information. It's ridiculous. So this is the big bad news that we've got going on today, and it is very, very bad. This is something that should have been caught as they were testing it out. I'm not sure how. I'm too stupid to understand how these things all work, but I do not understand how this could have gone past anybody when they were ready to put this thing out. The Cosmic Cube event should have been baked and ready to go for quite some time, and to have tested this and for this to have happened is a big problem for Square. Patch 1.8 was supposed to be for the Cosmic Cube event like we've talked about, and some of the updates were like this. We were going to get the Beating the Odds piece, we're going to get Cosmic Threat event that begins on June 24th, the reduced Mega Hives from 8 to 4 steps, and more. And all the patch notes are obviously through the Play Avengers in the War table. You guys can go and check that out if you want to see all the bug fixes that are going on, except for this one. The Mega Hives piece I was actually excited for to play because having to go from 8 to 4 is good. It's a refresh. That's going to help players be able to get back into this game and not feel like they have to totally grind out for nothing when they actually reduce that thing to 4. This IP address issue is a big one. They're getting the fix out by tomorrow. It must be difficult to be able to fix this thing in one day, but they should be trying to make this, top priority to get this thing fixed immediately. But it is a very bad situation for the team over at Square, because frankly, nobody wants to make a bad game. Nobody has the intention of making a bad game and making bad updates come through. This is just something that has happened, and it's very unfortunate. But to not have play tested this, I am a little concerned as to why this wasn't caught in development. So hopefully, as you are getting ready to download the update, and maybe you haven't come across anything on Twitter about these notes and what's going on, and maybe it will be fixed in time for you to play, but just a word of warning that if you are going to play this game locally, you'll be okay, but don't post anything, and definitely do not stream the game right now until the fix is completely out there. I think that this also hurts players in general that may have been trying to get back into the game, wanting to test and try things out, or we're feeling that, I haven't even gone into this. Now there's enough content there for me to actually play with. To come in and to hear that there is all of this going on right now is going to turn off existing players and new players alike. And it gives a big piece of hesitation for players out there for the Wakanda expansion that's coming around in August. As people are getting excited for that, they're really going to be holding off. I know I will, to listen and hear if there is going to be any bugs or big issues happening with that title. I want to make sure that thing is in good shape before it launches. And even with this patch update, I'm still going to wait for it, and I'm going to wait a couple of days probably before I go through the entire event. This makes me nervous for future Square games as well. I know it's a specific team that is working on this, but again, it puts a bad taste in players' mouths when they look at Square and what they are doing. And when a game like this has this many issues already in its tank, it's one more thing that they didn't need. They were on a good roll with the roadmap and with showing players what they were going to do, and people are excited, at least a little bit, for what the Black Panther expansion is going to look and feel like. But when something like this, it is not small, it is not a tiny bug. This is a massive one that is impacting this game for players that they will delete and uninstall from their console because it is glitched out in a very big way. What do you all think? Is this going to hinder you from playing this? Are you going to grab it tomorrow if the fix is there? Can they recover from this at all? What are they going to do in response to this? As they are fixing this, are they just going to kind of sweep it under the rug and go, whoops, sorry about that? Or do you think that they're going to do something to compensate players for this? Maybe a free skin, because that's their favorite thing to be able to do. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening, but this is a terrible thing that has happened for developers and for players, that they are experiencing their IP address and username on their console, it just popping up on their screen. Hopefully that the Avengers team and all of them can get this thing done and fixed up. I'm excited for Cosmic Cube. I'm excited to do the event despite this. I was excited, I was ready to go today for it. But again, I'm gonna have to pull back, wait a few days to be able to get my hands on this. I will come with a full episode breakdown of my thoughts and opinions of the event as it unfolds, and to give you guys a full review and impressions of the additional content, and we'll have to see what happens. There's still some bug going on in there. I even tried to play it in the last hour to try and see how it would feel. I was playing as Iron Man, and as I was flying around, I noticed I was getting some audio glitching and audio issues where it wasn't syncing up with Iron Man's combat and his blasters. So as I was fighting AIM robots, I couldn't hear the blast or his rockets or anything. It wasn't until I would switch up the combat a little bit or get close that it would actually correct itself. It's just one thing after another, man. We try to be hopeful. It's an exciting day for it. Well, hope things pick up and they get a little bit better, but this will definitely hurt them for quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode all the way through, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed doing that. We got more Avengers content coming for you. I will give you guys the Cosmic Cube review once it's all safe, and it's safe on the internet to do that. I am not doing that right now. We will do that at a later date. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and as always, thank you all for assembling with us. See ya!